Hello everyone, welcome to Chaudhary Data World channel. Today I am here with a new video series that is on NoSQL. I will be teaching out throughout the concepts whatever there is into the NoSQL into this whole series. And today it is the first video of this whole series, that is Introduction to NoSQL. So we'll be watching basically what this NoSQL is and then the overview of whole of this NoSQL, and right from tomorrow we'll be starting hands-on activities on this NoSQL. Today it is mostly going to be the theoretical class into which we'll be getting aware that what NoSQL is, what its advantage, why we will be basically answering these 5 questions, that is what is NoSQL, why we use NoSQL, where we use NoSQL in analytics and big data engineering, what else like NoSQL, that because we are having multiple other databases as well, right? And NoSQL, SQL, graph database, so all these things we'll be watching, and then SQL versus NoSQL, because this is something which is very common when it is coming to NoSQL. So let's start with the video. So first question we are having is, what is NoSQL? This is just a short or acronym for not only SQL, which handles non-structured or semi-structured data. Now what this non-structured and semi-structured is? So suppose this particular example you are having, okay, so this particular example, what you can see over here, that this whole example is having ID, name, age, email, and again then address. In address again we are having multiple columns, correct, or you may say keys over here, that is street, city, zip, correct. So it is something which is semi-structured right now, correct, and there are multiple times when what happens that the data come from, suppose a scenario you can assume that you are having a IoT device. Now if you are collecting data from that IoT device, sometime it may go 50 byte long, sometime it may go 5 byte long, so it may vary on the situations. Now you should be having some database to handle all this dynamic situation, right? To deal up with that dynamic situation, we are having this NoSQL. That means whatever data, in whatever format, in whatever structure it is coming, NoSQL is having the capability to intake that and store it. In RDBMS, that was relational database, we were having SQL. In that what we were having the strict structure of the data defined, that this is the table, into this table this is the row, this is the column. If you are going to insert some new column into it, it will be throwing you up error, that column not found, correct, into that particular object. But this is not the case into the NoSQL. You will be able to even put that particular data which will be having some more column apart from whatever you were providing previously. So it handles non-structured and semi-structured data. It is having high performance and low latency data access. When it comes to data access, what it happens, it gives high performance with very minimal time taking, you may say. So whenever you want to retrieve the data, it is very much high performance activity when it comes to NoSQL. So this is the biggest advantage of NoSQL. It is having it doesn't having fixed schema structure as RDBMS, which I already mentioned you. Data is stored generally in JSON document. So what this particular example look like, if you are aware of, this look like the JSON document, correct. Now when we will put this particular whole chunk of data into our txt file, into which we will save it with the extension .json, that will be only your JSON file. That JSON file is only called as JSON document over here, okay. Now how it is stored, I will be explaining, and definitely for that reason we are here with this video series, correct. So don't be impatient, we will be seeing all these things, how we store this JSON document and all into the upcoming videos. Now the next question we are having is why we use NoSQL. Means there should be advantage. Till now you must would have got the advantage, what the basic advantage and biggest advantages are. That it has high performance, it has it can handle non-structured or semi, all these things are advantages, right? But specifically I have mentioned few of the more advantages. That means allow for flexible and dynamic data modeling, of course, which I have already covered up. Designed for horizontal scalability. Now again it comes to that point only, that it can allow any structure of data at any moment of time. It will not restrict you that you should be providing this particular structure of data only. So this is only the biggest advantage it allows us. Okay, and it allowing you distribute data across multiple servers or node to handle increased load and data growth. There is now another point to be noted, that biggest advantage in this is in SQL, dividing the data across the cluster or across the node is a bit difficult, but in this particular NoSQL it's very easy to distribute it on the multiple server or the node. Due to that reason only, the performance of data retrievable becomes fast. Okay, now moving ahead with another point, that is many NoSQL database are open source, so making it cost effective to use. So as you can have multiple open source NoSQL softwares like you may say MongoDB. So this is very widely used, which is definitely it is an open source, you can use it. In SQL even we are having the open source database like MySQL, and then we were having the SQL server on which we had the tutorial previously. Now moving ahead with another point, that is why we use NoSQL in analytics and big data engineering. That means in this particular channel we are mainly concerned for analytics and big data engineering videos, right? So it's very important to answer this particular question, that why we are even studying this NoSQL and where it is getting used in analytics or big data engineering. So the answer is many NoSQL databases are optimized for real-time data ingestion. Now the question comes that what if it is for the real-time data ingestion? So in big data engineering we are dealing with big data. Now from where this big data is coming? It can come from the enterprise applications. It can majorly come from the real-time data ingestion. What real-time data ingestion can be? I already mentioned that from IoT device, within a second you will be getting a lot of data. So when this IoT device will be running throughout day and night 24/7, you can assume how large the data can be. Now to handle this large data, we should be having NoSQL, because NoSQL is having the capability to handle large it will be better to tell that it is having the capability to handle non-structured or semi-structured data, which is coming from your IoT device, which is coming from the real-time scenarios, correct? Now it is having high write throughput, which is crucial for keeping up with the data ingestion rate. Now what this is? So it basically, when you are writing up the data, that means when you are entering up the data, SQL may take some time, but this particular NoSQL, since it's having the high performance, as you are able to easily separate it on different servers, right, on different nodes, due to that it gives us the high performance, and due to high performance we can write or read very fastly in NoSQL, due to which it is very widely used into big data engineering or analytics. Now what else like NoSQL? Since we came across with SQL, then NoSQL. So what else, like means how many other things are there similar to this SQL or NoSQL? So there are multiple which we may be covering into the future video series. We are having graph databases, we are having columnar databases, we are having cache stores. So these are few of the databases which are you may say, as we are reading out SQL or NoSQL, there are multiple other things like graph, columnar, cache, and many more. So I have just put this particular point just to demonstrate that what all other things are there apart from this NoSQL and SQL. In detail, definitely I will be not covering up over here, and if I will cover going to cover up, definitely it may sound you confusing, or you might not be interested even. So I'm just leaving it for now. In upcoming future videos, definitely it might happen that I will be covering graph databases, I might cover cache stores. So in that we will be watching out. Then we are having very important question in front of us, that is, what is difference between SQL and NoSQL? Now you definitely have got some glimpse difference between SQL and NoSQL, that this SQL is containing only structured data, but this NoSQL is capable to contain non-structured or semi-structured. First point is that. Another point, our SQL can be vertical scalable, because what you are doing when you are entering up the data, you are adding up the row, you are not adding up the column, correct? But in this particular one, it can be horizontally scaled even. Okay. Now SQL handles complex queries very easily. The disadvantage, I am now coming to the disadvantage of NoSQL. In NoSQL, handling complex query become very difficult, but in SQL, it's a big advantage due to which we are largely using this SQL, that your query or your complex query becomes very easy to execute on SQL, and you are able to retrieve the data with very complex logic. Now example of SQL, I have already told you that example of SQL we were having we read across this Microsoft SQL Server, but there are multiple others like Oracle, PostgreSQL, MySQL. But this NoSQL, we are having multiple others like on which we will be mainly focusing in this video series, that is MongoDB. Apart from that, we are having Cassandra as well. So these are some of the NoSQL databases which are available into market, and basically we will be focusing on MongoDB. So from tomorrow we will be getting started with MongoDB. We will first install it, then we will be having some glimpse over that how this MongoDB looks like, how we can use it, and then gradually we will be moving with each of the concepts available in NoSQL. So that was whole about this introduction to NoSQL. Hope you found this video very informative and helpful. If you found this video interesting, kindly, it's my request to like to the video and subscribe to the channel if you are new to the channel. And thank you so much guys for watching out the video till now, and see you in the next one with definitely getting started with this MongoDB. So thank you so much guys, see you in the next one.